Bobby, give me a bit of a blast on this. What happened with Liam Neeson? What did he do? What did he say?
Liam Neeson, basically, a friend of his got raped. She said she was raped by a black person. This was 30 years ago or something, 40 years ago, was it? Something like that.
Like back in the 70s.
And 70s. And he decided to go out on the streets, and he was obviously angry, and he was hoping to see any black person so he could beat them up. He's now he admitted this, and he said he was horrified at his own attitude, and it basically comes from this sort of culture of I don't know, where people have demonised the black community, that they were all the same. And it was the 70s. It's not to be particularly surprising, the fact that a white guy from Belfast had slightly racist views way back in the day. I mean, this is a guy who's, there was quite a lot of that going on.
It's the 70s.
Yeah, it's the 70s. Basically, that's it.
I love that. Vino is just underlining with the fact that it was the 70s. Producer Travis, are we allowed to play a clip of that audio, of that particular interview? Here's a clip for you if you're wondering what the hell that interview was about.
Did she know who it was? No. What colour were they? She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a cosh, hoping I'd be approached.
And then, right, so there you go. You hear him saying it. He does sound remorseful. He seems like he's learned his lesson. And then, but this caused a whole furore in the furore or furorery.
You keep going, bro. I'm enjoying this.
I'm inventing words today.
That's Scrabble for the
It caused this massive thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's a mad racist." He says he was a racist, and then I think the best reaction to it, or the best perspective that's come out of it, or that opens up more questions, because I think the question's bigger than Liam Neeson, is what John Barnes said.
What did John Barnes say? Can we get a clip of that as well? I want to hear what he said, actually.
John Barnes articulated the situation in the best way, and it just stunned a Sky Sports or Sky News pundits. They all just thought, yeah, he's going to go on there and he's going to say, oh, he's a racist and that's unacceptable and blah. And they were just hoping he was going to chastise or exemplify Liam Neeson. But what he did was he pointed out where it's a systemic. This is from a society where he's always told this is the culture that they've created, where people regularly compare like almost subconsciously, as a culture and a community, we've been programmed to sort of always
harbour
have
stereotypes.
Yeah, and the stereotypes are that the black community or the black people are violent, are
thieves,
and all this sort of stuff. A little bit in a way like Donald Trump's just done now with Mexico, where he just tarred them with that. They're all rapists, whatever the thing was.
Do you know what I grew up with as well? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I grew up, believe this shit or not, right? That in knowing, instilled into me that white people stank.
Yeah, I had that too.
Just, and I remember up until a very, very late age, up until about maybe 15, and you and me were still hanging out at that time. There was this thing that was just like, oh, white people stink, or white people are rich, white people are this. So it works both ways. It's not just a one-way thing, and I think that's what John Barnes was kind of pointing out really well. That
systemically,
don't be fucking lazy. This is just lazy people. Like, yes, he's saying something, but A, he's brave enough to say it, that he went through this thing. Maybe he could have considered the fact that he's a megastar. Whatever he says in this day and age that we live in, he's getting gunned down. He might as well just get those people with the bloody meme flipping machines,
call 50 Cent,
targeting at his head. Because at the end of the day, we are all, as a society, I catch myself doing it. When there's a meme that comes up or some shit, some event, we're all looking for moments. That's why things like The Breakfast Club do so well. We're all watching The Breakfast Club because we want to see a moment. I want to see somebody crying on fucking
film?
GMTV. The Breakfast Club, the talk show.
Oh, Charlemagne,
it's what
that's really good.
Instagram is based on. It's moments of madness, moments of this and what rather. But what Liam Neeson is actually done poorly is to just choose this medium to kind of put this information out. I think
there's that, and also it's the way he put it across. Like, he said he wanted to kill anyone, like any black person, because.
But maybe that's the way he felt.
That is the way he felt.
Exactly the way he felt.
But like V was saying, that was the 70s. At the time, that was completely okay. When we had TV shows where they were openly using up until 1989, they were having TV shows that were like Love Thy Neighbour and all that. They would openly use racist terminology and racist culture and racist stereotypes in the TV show. You got the Prime Minister, Theresa May. She voted that fucking South African Nelson Mandela get the death penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
and these are all people because she was out and they were against the end of the apartheid. The Tory party were against. You know, we've got a systemic culture of that sort of racist approach. And in the 70s, especially, like if you're going to vilify someone like Neeson, who stood up and gone, yeah, I had this thought. I've thought about it since. I've spoken to people since. I realised I was a cunt. I'm sorry and apologise. But then we don't target the people that we know have done horrific things, Rees-Mogg and all these, and
they
Theresa
hide
May.
it cleverly with other nonsense, man.
Because it doesn't suit a media profile to sell that. They know
No,
they can
there isn't a
demonise someone and they can
60-second
create
clip.
And if we could play we'll get the clip of John Barnes. It's just so well and succinct, and it's just a great point, and it just stunned. It was great. It just.
I think it's
stunned
why
and
the
shut
thing
up.
has died down rather rapidly because it didn't hold enough water for
Well, they were
massive
hoping the black
outrage.
community
Perhaps
would be more angry
Yeah.
and angrier about what Neeson. They just wanted
I'm
him
not
to
being funny,
target
but we've
Neeson.
got a whole shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But
it's
there's
like,
no stuff to be
it's
angry
like,
about.
Well,
There's
Liam's
another
like-
fella
they
saying
just
something racist. Like it's like, all right, cool, fam.
Yeah.
Heard it before. What else is new? Like,
Another state, though,
keep it
another
moving.
example.
I just
of
don't
where
watch
we
your
are.
films anymore. Is what a lot of people said. Is like,
Well,
oh,
the
that guy's
movie-
just done with that guy. Keep it moving.
What was he promoting? What was the name of the movie? I
knows.
wonder. I
Taken
forget.
7.
Taken
We'll find
52,
it.
yeah. I don't know.
52.
Someone's taken my cat, and I'm
like-
going to find out who's got my.
But they cancelled. I mean, it cost somebody some money the other way. Either way, didn't it? But that was a madness.